So in this video, I'm going to show you some freeform modeling. We're going to create a little character. I've chosen Kenny the llama from Future Life series. So let's go to the top plane straight away and just put a sketch in. And I'm going to change to wireframe. So this is an existing sketch which I'm going to use, but we want to put a sketch picture in. So sketch picture, navigate to where you've got your picture, which I've cropped off of a website. And then if you want to scale this, you can use the scale button, but it's much easier in this case just to disable that and then to freeform scale this down and move it around. Okay, so I want that to be somewhere around there. That's it, and I'm going to rotate it to 70. So I'm going to pull it in so that it kind of matches my sketch. All right, something like that, so that is a basis. So that's what you do, and then you could use the sketch tool I would use. Definitely would use the style spline at least degree 3 or degree 5, much easier to control. Don't use any other spline, don't use a Bezier or a standard spline. Okay, so I've got this in here. Let's just quickly show you one other thing while we're here. So just put a bit of transparency in so that it disappears a bit. Okay, that's it. So let's exit that. And then I'm going to, that sketch would have been in on that other sketch. This is the one I'm using here. I'm simply going to extrude this, and so I could just drag this out actually, about 5 or 6 millimeters. The unfortunate thing about that is I'm going to have to go and edit it because, where is it? Boss extrude, because I want to taper in on it, so I'm going to put a 4-degree taper. So that's good. Okay, let's just see what that looks like. Oh, okay, so right now, just to make things easier, I'm going to unmerge it so that I have 2 separate objects. That means I can hide this one and I can work just on this item. And then I can go and combine them later. Okay, so let's have a look at the next stage. The next stage is to put the nose and the mouth in, because that's all they've got in this one. So let's go to normal 2, and just to show you the underlying sketch. So I've deliberately done these so that I don't waste too much of your time. But you can see, even with 3 degrees, this is a little bit tricky to get right. I'm going to leave it as it is. So those are my 2 sketches. Let's go back to that view. And what I would like to do now is just to create a compound surface to cut this other one with. So I'm going to show the sweep for now. And then we're going to put a plane in, and I'm going to create, from the right plane, I'm going to create a duplicate plane, hold the control button down, drag this out to where you want it to be roughly. Okay, I will use that in a moment, and then I'm going to go to the front plane in the meantime. Actually, let me just switch my YAC-D on so that you can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can get you to... Boom. It's not in here. There it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can see what keyboard commands I'm using. Now, I'm going to go to front plane, put a sketch in, and I want to slice this off. So I'm going to use a very simple 3-point arc going from about there to there, like that. Let's pull this down a bit. I don't want it sticking out too much. I'm not going to define where that is. In other words, position it. You should actually... All right, so but let's go back to this plane here. Currently it's sitting in a position where I can't actually get it to connect to that sketch because it's in the wrong sequence. So I'm just going to see if I can drag it beneath the sketch, and I can. Great stuff. So then I can right click on this edit the feature, and I want it to be parallel to the right plane, and then just select the end of the sketch to connect to. Brilliant. Okay, so then with that sketch selected, I can put with that plane selected, I can put a sketch in, and I'm going to do the same as before. This is very simple. It's going to be 3-point arc. I will put a point in at the center of this line and then just rotate around, and then I'm going to grab that point and that sketch and say make pierce, and then let's just adjust this to be, oh, I'll tell you what I need to do first. Let's just make those horizontal. So I drag one of these down. Will it do it? Seem to be, there we go. Okay, so I can get it to sort of echo the curve of the top of my handle. All right, so now we're going to do so make sure it's not a feature, not a swept boss, but a surface, a swept surface. We're going to use that one there and this one here, and it's only doing half, so come across to your properties, make sure it goes in both directions and say yes. Okay, so we'll use that surface to cut with, so cut with surface, the arrow is pointing upwards, great, done. Hide that. All right, so there we go. I can do more with this if I wanted. I could put like a button around it. But I'm just showing you the freeform part of it. You can decide how you want to model your own item to your satisfaction. So those sketches are now going to be used. I'm going to use them to extrude cut into this one. So let's just hide this for now. We don't want to complicate things. Let's hide that as well. Can we? Not sure which one it is. I think it's this one. No, we need that one. Right, it's that one there. Hide it. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use these two sketches. I can actually select them beforehand, and I can tap the S key to get my extruded cut. And it seems I only chose one contour. Let's choose the other one. Now I want it to go from this top surface down, so from surface, select that one, and the distance I want it to go down is about maybe 2.2 millimeters. That might be a little bit extreme, but let's leave it like that. We can adjust it later. So far so good. Okay, let's get the next sketch up. So that'll be the teeth. Let me show you what I've done there. Let's just hide these ones, that one and that one I'm going to hide. Alright, so that sketch there is basically style spline with two, that's just one actually, 1, 2, 3, 3-point sketches, 3-point arcs, and then I've just drawn some lines across there and used the power trim to trim those out. Alright, so I've got two sketches in place to give me the teeth and the mouth. I'm going to use those to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to extrude, and let me just add some more of those. I want that one there. Okay, I don't want them to go from the bottom just because that's going to influence possibly the draft. So I'm going to say offset by 3.5. It might be too much. No, that's too high. 3. You can always adjust this later, even that's too high. It should be over here, 3. Okay, so that's going from 3 and it's going up. So in the second instance, I wanted to go offset from surface. So I'm going to go from this surface. No, sorry, let's go down. So I think that's going to be better. If I say 0.5, will that do it? There we go. Brilliant. Okay, so that's going to go, it's going to start. It looks like it's not going to start in the right place. I need to make this a bit smaller, 2.5. There, that's better. That's going to start from beneath, even that's 2.3. There we go, that's better. So that's going to go from beneath to this point, and I can change this. Let's make that 0.6. And that'll follow at the top, it'll follow this top surface. Okay, I'm going to merge them so that now I have the two teeth and the mouth and the nose. Okay, so this is supposed to be like a mouth shape, and then there's eyes somewhere else. I forget how it goes. All right, before I proceed, I want these to be tapered, so I can do that. The best way I can do that is to go to find my top plane, hold the control button down, drag this up to just there, just touching. That's good. And then I can use that plane to go to features, draft. So that's going to be my neutral plane, plane 9, and then the faces I want to draft are these ones here, all the vertical faces. By about 4 degrees. Let's see if that works. I think it's in the right direction. Let's just give us a quick, yeah, it's doing the right thing. Okay, so it looks like there might be a bit of a problem between these two. That taper might be too much. Looks like it. So I might have to either change. Let's just see what happens if I make that 2.6. Would that alter it? Seems not to. Or I might have to just make the sketch smaller, or yeah, or the taper to be smaller. So I think it'll have to be some sort of adjustment like that. I'm going to leave it like this, but just so that you understand, this would not be optimal. All right, so from here, then I can just put in some fillets. So that'll be, the major fillets will be all the verticals. So let's go fillet 1. Let's make that about 0.35. Grab that one. This might be, yes, that might solve one of our problems. It will indeed maybe help us a bit. That one there. And that one. Okay, so once you've got your major fillets in place, you can say yes. And now we want the less important, well, the smaller ones. So that's going to be that one. Let's make that 0.25 or 0.2, I think would be better. 0.2. So that edge and that one. And then we should be able to finish this off. I see we're missing one, so I wonder. I'm actually going to try and see if I can't get that one to go around here. Is that too big? Possibly. Let's go make it 0.18. There we go. All right, it's not optimal, but it's doing good enough just to show you how to do this. And then these will be a lot smaller, so these will be 0.15. Let's try that. So that's going to be that one. Don't know if I'm quite happy with those corners, but I'm just showing you the basic idea. All right, there we go. And then lastly, we can just fill in some more fillets on these two faces here. So let's make those into, it seems to be a problem, 0.1, 0.1, 0.12, 0.14, go all the way up to 0.14. And then these can be a slightly larger fillet, 0.25. And then I'm going to give it a nice large round on the edge of 0.5, maybe even 0.6. There we go. That's it. Let's hide that. Let's bring back the sweep just to see what's happening. Show it. All right, so there we go. There's my character. Oh, I seem to have not So I might have to actually dig into this piece here or bring these pieces up, because you can see these two are interfering. Or I might do an interference. So you could do an indent here. You could say indent and see if that'll work. Let's see if we can indent. So that'll be my target body and that'll be my tool. Will it do it? It might just crash. Does not seem to have done it. Cut. Okay, so a quick addendum to what I've done. I didn't realize that in fact the indent had worked when I did the indent. So if I hide this, all right, you'll see that there are a number of bodies here. So I can actually delete these bodies. I should be able to delete bodies. Let's see. It's done it. And that one there, we can delete as well. Okay, because obviously that left what was, oh, it seems to have actually taken away. No, that's not going to work. But if I hide that one, so if I hide it and then I make this one show, there we go. And then I should be able to combine those two. Combine, perfect. Okay, so it's not perfect as the way I've got it, but it'll do it. And then you for sure should be able to fill it here without a problem. Perfect. Done.